Well, hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is a little bit of a different project for you. Since Strat has decided to take away the Card Viewer app, I am not really deciding to want to pay the, I don't know, 15 to 20 bucks a month for Baseball Max. So I am doing a sort of best of tournament. And the two best teams that I realize that I have are the 1976 Cincinnati Reds and the 1998 New York Yankees. So this will be a little 7-game series. Now, I won't use the exact lineups, and I'll tell you the reason why. And the home team will be the Yankees, as they had the most wins. And the lineup for the visiting Cincinnati Reds, leading off and playing third base, is Pete Rose. Batting second and playing right field is Ken Griffey. Wasn't really known as senior then, but senior. Batting third, playing second base, is Joe Morgan. Batting cleanup and playing first base, Tony Perez. Batting fifth and playing left field is George Foster. Batting sixth and catching is Johnny Bench. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Ed Armbrister. Batting eighth and playing center field, Cesar Geronimo. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is Dave Concepcion. Now, the Reds used Dan Dreesen as the DH. Now, in 1976, the World Series, both leagues used the DH. They were sort of like an every other year thing, where in 75, it was either American League or National League, the pitchers hit. So, but that's because Dreesen does not hit lefties very well, and with the Reds having to face at least two lefties with David Wells and Andy Pettitte, we will go there. All right, defensively behind David Wells, behind the plate is Jorge Posada. At first base is Tino Martinez. Chuck Knobloch's at second. Third baseman is Scott Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And at shortstop is Derek Sanderson Jeter. Left to right in the outfield, and left field is Ricky Leday. In center field is Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill in right. All right, and here is Pete Rose, switch hitter, batting right-handed. And of course, I dropped the die. And we will re-roll. And a 1-8 against the lefty. Swung on and missed, struck him out. One away, and I'm using super advanced, by the way. Ballpark singles will be 1-9, and ballpark home runs 1-7. I know it's a little low for being Yankee Stadium. I was a little shocked too. 5-10 to Griffey. Ballpark single 11. That's too high. And let's see. We'll say that's a fly ball to right. 2 away. And here is Joe Morgan. The read column is looking mighty nice. Oops. And timeout. Okay. And here is Joe Morgan. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first. Six and a 7 against the lefty second base chance. Knobloch on the 17. He will get to it. Knobloch is an E15. Oh boy. And 15 and 11. That should be okay. And it is. So Knobloch ranges towards first and throws out Morgan, and that retires the side. So 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the first. And hold on. And that was not in celebration of the Yankees getting out of the inning, if you heard a fire truck go by. Pitching for the Cincinnati Reds is Don Gullett. And the batting order for the Yankees is as follows. Leading off is Chuck Knobloch. Batting second is Derek Jeter. Batting third is Paul O'Neill. Cleaning up is Bernie Williams. The designated hitter batting fifth is Charles Chili Davis. Batting sixth is the first baseman Tino Martinez. Scott Brocious bats seventh. Jorge Posada bats eighth. And Ricky Leday bats ninth. Here's Gullett, so lefty-lefty matchup. Or lefty-righty for batter, but two left-handers starting tonight. And that's a 4-10 against the righty. And that's a fly ball to right field. Going back a few steps is Ken Griffey. And that's one away. And here is Derek Jeter. .39, weak bouncer to second. Morgan gobbles it up and throws him out, 2 away. And here is Paul O'Neill, who was a Red when he started his career. 5-9 against the lefty. That's the shortstop chance. 12 for Concepcion is fine when he gets everything. Now you got to worry about his air rating. He's an E30 as a shortstop. And that's a rare play, so I don't think that's going to be anything. But we'll just see for... So G1 rare play is probably not that rare. Runner, if there's a runner on first, no runner on first. Batter, it's a little ground out, so we'll just say that's a grounder to short. And that retires the side after an incomplete. It's the Reds, nothing, and the Yankees, nothing. And Perez, Foster, and Bench due up for the Reds here in the top of the second. And here's the pitch to Tony Perez. And 2 and a 3. And that's just a bit outside, ball 4. And you do have to hold Perez. Wells is a -2 hold, and Posada is a -1, so he'd be 50-50 to steal. So they will hold him on, but he will not be going anywhere. Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 10. Here's George Foster, as baseball demos would say, Australian for home run. 4-12 against the righty. That's a ground ball right to Brocious, the second for 1. The relay throw is in time. Double play. So 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Johnny Bench. Four and a 7 against a righty. And Bench gets caught looking, strike 3. And that retires the side. So we go to the bottom of the second. Reds nothing, Yankees nothing. All right, and here is Bernie Williams. One 8 against the lefty, and that's a base hit up the middle. And let's see here. Bernie stole 15 bases. Gullett is a -1. Bench is a -3. So -4. So the most you can have is, and so -2. So most you have is -5. So yeah, I think that they will hold him on, but he will not be going anywhere. Maybe 1 to 10. And here is Chili Davis, the designated hitter. Havoc roll for Gullett. Nothing on the 19. Gullett looks like he could be a little wild if possible. 6 and a 7. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 1-5. That is a 10. And so it's a line drive right to Pete Rose. One away as Williams scatters back to first. And here's Tino Martinez. Or havoc roll for nothing on the 14 for Gullett. Here's Martinez. 3 and an 8. Ground ball to first. Perez, the second. Relay throw by Concepcion. Inning-ending double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Gullett. And we are through 2. Reds nothing, Yankees nothing. And Armbrister, Geronimo, and Concepcion do appear for the Reds here in the top of the 3rd. Here's Armbrister, who hits lefties a lot better than Dreesen does. And a 6-10 against a righty center field chance. That is Bernie Williams. He will get to it, so we just need to know if he makes an error. He is an E4, so that's very good. E4 and an 11. There is no 11, so Williams will track it down. And that retires Armbrister, 1 away. And here's Cesar Geronimo. This -5 arm is a little confusing. I never thought of him as having a strong throwing arm. 1 and a 5. And that's past the second baseman Knobloch and into right field for a hit. And let's see, -1, minus Posada is a -1. Oh, -2, -5. Geronimo be 1-13. Then he's going to try to get a jump. He needs a 5 or a 6. And that's a 10. That's an 11. So no jump for Geronimo. Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 16. There's Davy Concepcion. They're not expecting a bunt with 1 out. If it's against a righty, I think about it, but we'll let Concepcion swing away here. 5, 6, and against the righty, that's a high pop-up left side of the infield, and Derek Jeter calls for it, 2 away. Back to the top of the order, here's Pete Rose. Struck out his first time up. Havoc roll for Wells. That's a 4, nothing there. And here's Rose. 112, and that's a fly ball to left field. And camping under it is Leday, and that retires the side. The Reds leave 1, and we're through 2.5, and still scoreless. And Gullett will face bottom 3rd of the order, Brocious, Posada, and Leday. And here's Brocious. 1 and a 9. Ballpark blast, but that's a 12, and it needs to be 1-7, so that's a deep fly ball to left field. And at the warning track is Foster. He puts it away, 1 down. And here is Jorge Posada. Two and a 7. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. First strikeout for Gullett. And here's Ricky Leday. Probably shouldn't have started him against lefties, but 2 and a 5. Swung on and missed, struck him out, and that retires the side. So we are through 3, and no score. Griffey, Morgan, and Perez due up for the Reds in the top of the 4th. Two and a 12. That's wide to center field, and Bernie Williams is under it. 1 down. And here is Joe Morgan. Five and a 3. Pitcher chance. That is a 9 for Wells. He is a 4. Four and a 9. He will get to it. Wells is an E20. And another rare play. So G3 rare play. Hits off the mound and deflects to the fielder who makes the play for the out at first. So dribble went off the mound, but Wells is alert, gets it, and throws out Morgan 2 away. Here's Tony Perez. Walked his first time up. 5 and a 7. 1 to 4 double chance, but that's a 9. So Williams camps under it and makes the catch, and that retires the side. So bottom of the 4th, still scoreless. Both teams have 1 hit, so excellent pitcher's duel between Gullett and Wells. All right, here's Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch flied out his first time up. 6 and a 7. That's a 1 to 5 single chance, but that's a 17, so that's lined at Pete Rose. 1 down. Here's Derek Jeter, grounded out his first time up. 4 and a 5. And that's a fly ball to left field. Foster is puts it away. 2 down, and here's Paul O'Neill. Four and a 6. Just a bit outside, ball 4. So 2 out walk to Paul O'Neill. And O'Neill stole 15 bases and gets the automatic, but actually you can have the -6. That's right, because your hold and your throwing rating can only be max of -5. All right, so -6. And, well, O'Neill might take a shot at it. He needs a 4. No. And so he will not get a lead. We will not try on his secondary rating. Havoc roll for Gullett. Nothing on the 17. There's Bernie Williams, singled his last time up. 4 and a 7. Nope, against a righty. That's high, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. And the Yankees want to take advantage of this if they can. Here's Chili Davis. Nothing on the 18. 2 and a 7. That's high ball 4, and he has walked the bases loaded. And Tino Martinez going to look to do something that he did in the 98 World Series, or 98 World Series. Hit a grand slam. Havoc roll for Gullett. Nothing on the 13. Here's Martinez. One and a 6, and right on cue. That ball is driven high. That ball is driven deep. Looking up is Griffey, and that's in the second deck. Grand slam, Tino Martinez. And the Yankees take a 4-0 lead. So Gullett's wildness costs them, and the Reds are out to Yankees are out to a 4-0 lead. And here's Scott Brocious. And 6-7, 1-5 single. That's a 4. So Brocious. Right now, Gullett can't get the final out of the inning. And here's the 8th man to bat in the inning, Jorge Posada. 2 is a balk or a pass ball chance. That is a 1, 2, or 3 is a pass ball. 4, 5, or 6 is a balk. No balk for Gullett. Oh, hold on, let me look up that rule real quick just to make sure. My bad. Thankfully I looked it up. 4, 5, or 6 is a pass ball rating. Johnny Bench's pass ball is a pass ball of 2. So on a 1-2, Brocious goes to second, and he does not. Okay, so here's Posada. Six and a 7. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 1-5, and as Demos calls it, the devil die is working for the Yankees right now. Well, dribbler gets past, or line drive gets past Rose. Stopping at second is Brocious. And Ricky Leday, the 9th man to bat in the inning. And the way this is looking at Sparky maybe playing Captain Hook here pretty quickly. Nothing on the 3. Oops. And once again, that will be no roll because all dice have to go through the tray. We'll do it again. 2 and a 5, and struck him out to retire the side. But the Yankees, on the grand slam by Tino Martinez, take a 4-0 lead. All right. Here's Foster. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Two and a 5. Ballpark blast. And that ball is driven deep to left field. Back goes Leday. He leaps. And that ball is out of here. 2 and a 5 is the diamond shot. 1-7. That's a 7. And so George Foster is Australian for home run. gets the Reds on the board. They now trail 4-1. Now here's Johnny Bench. After the bats being somewhat silent for 3.5 innings, they have now come alive a little bit. Here's Johnny Bench, struck out his first time up. 1 and a 9. Bouncer to short, and Jeter throws out Bench. 1 away. Here's Ed Armbrister. 2 and a 3. Another grounder to shortstop, and Jeter throws out Armbrister. 2 down. Here's Cesar Geronimo, singled his last time up. Two and an 8, 1-10 single. That is a 1. And so Geronimo has himself a 2-out single. Let's see, 2, 3, 5. We'll try to get a jump for Geronimo. Needs a 5 or a 6. That's 10, and thankfully that is a 3. All right. All right, and Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 3. Here's Concepcion, popped out his first time up. 6 and a 6 against a righty. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Wells. And we are through 4.5. Yankees 4. Reds nothing. Gullett will face top of the order, Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill. And here's Knobloch, 0 for 2. And no roll. Three, 5, popped up. Shortstop. Concepcion says, Yola Tango, I have it. And one away. Here's Derek Jeter. 0 for 2 himself. 2 and an 8. And that's right up the middle. And finds its way to center field for a base hit. Jeter stole 30 bases that year, but 1-13, you're up 4 runs. Yeah, they'll take a shot at it. Needs a 4 or a 6 to get a lead. No, he gets the 5. He needs a 4 or a 6, not 4 through 6. And they will not try on the second steal rating. Here's Paul O'Neill, walked his first time up. Nothing on the 18 for the Havoc. 2 and a 9, swing and a miss, struck him out. And here's Bernie Williams. Also walked his last time up. 5 and a 7, righty, second base chance. Oh boy, this is going to be trouble. Now, they were holding Jeter on, so let's see. Is he responsible for holding him on? Let's see. Williams is a right-handed batter. Yes, the second baseman is responsible. So that means Morgan jumps from a 1 to a 2. And let's see here. Notice a symbol. And since he is responsible for holding the runner on, that will get through for a base hit. Moving to third is Jeter. And we have runners on the corners. So essentially, because Morgan was responsible for holding the runner, you bump him up a grade, up a ranking. So it becomes a 2. And because it has the asterisk on it, it's a single 2 stars or a single 2 base advance. So here's Chili Davis. As if I'm almost certain the Reds will get bullpen action. Pedro Barbone and Manny Sarmiento. Havoc die. Nothing on the 6. They are holding all runners. 1 and an 8. And, there are 2 outs with runners in scoring position. So that 1-8 becomes an anti-clutch. And as a right-handed hitter, we'll say he pops this up to the shortstop. And Concepcion makes the play to retire the side. So we go to the top of the 6th. 4-0 Yankees. About the only rules I don't play for Super Advanced are plate blocking and home run robbing. And maybe the cutoff rule, I guess I don't really do. But do you cut, whatever, so. All right, here is Pete Rose, 0 for 2 against David Wells. Oops. 6 and an 8 righty, 1-3 triple chance. That's a 17, and Rose leads off the top of the 6th with a single. He will not be going anywhere. They do not have to hold him on, and they will not. With Posada being a -1. So he'd be -3. He'd be 1-10 anyway. So they will not hold him on. Havoc die for Wells. Nothing on the 11. Here's Ken Griffey. Oops. Hold on. This game is actually 4-1 Reds. I'm sorry I did not put the home run by Foster on there. So 4-1 Yankees lead. 2 and an 8. Fly ball to center field. And Bernie Williams makes the catch, 1 away. Here's Joe Morgan. They are not holding Rose, so he'd be a B hit and run. Right now, you're looking to get anything in motion. They're gonna hit and run with. Well, we're gonna do the Havoc die first. Nothing on the 20. All right, we will hit and run. If it's the lead die is 1, 2, or 3, we follow the hit and run chart. If not, then we follow what goes off the pitcher's card. So Morgan is a B hit and run. That is a 1, so a B and a 9. Ooh, is the lead runner ground ball to short. They get Rose at second, but they do not get Morgan. On the fielder's choice, 2 down. And Morgan will try to get a jump here. 2-5 or 11-12. And that's an 8. does not get the jump and will not try on his second number. Oh, actually on a 2, hold up. On a 2, that's a balk chance, but Wells does not have a balk, so that's fine too. All right. Havoc roll for Wells with Tony Perez up. Nothing on the 4. Five and a 9. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. And that will retire the side. So Reds leave 1 on here in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees lead 4-1. My apologies for missing that run earlier. All right. Gullett will face... This is his point of weakness inning, and he might just get pulled anyways. Martinez, Brocious, and Posada, and Martinez gets a nice hand coming to the plate, as his grand slam is the difference in this game. Three and a 10. Ballpark single. That too is good enough. And they will not hold Martinez on, as Bourbon is almost ready. And here is Brocious. Nothing on the Havoc roll. Four and a 12. And that ball's driven to deep left field, but step or two in front of the warning track is Foster, and he will make the catch. Twice Brocious has been robbed. This one was a 19 on the ballpark blast. And let's see here. So they are going to actually pull Gullett at this time. And they will bring in Pedro Bourbon. So Sparky did not like where that went. Plus they want to turn Posada to the left-hand side. So Bourbon will come in. 5 and a 3rd for Gullett. The runner on first is his responsibility. Havoc die for Bourbon. Nothing on the 17. Here's Posada. 3 and a 4. And against a righty, that's a tapper back to the mound. The second for 1. The return throw is in time, inning-ending double play. And we go to the top of the 7th. 4-1 Yankees. All right, and this is Wells' point of weakness. He has faced 22 batters through 6 innings. Here is George Foster. His home run is the only run of the game for the Reds. .69 against a righty. And that ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep. That ball is out of here. George Foster says, "Get on my back." And I guess the good thing if you're a Yankees fan is that both of these occurred with the bases empty. 4-2 Reds. As Wells has not been able to, besides the first at bat, been able to figure out George Foster. And here's Johnny Bench. .15. And that ball's hit into the gap. 1-2 triple chance. The 7 means that he reaches second. And they are going to buy some time for Let's see. Bench, you have Armbrister and Geronimo, so righty and a lefty. Let's see here. You have Graham Lloyd and Jeff Nelson loosening in the bullpen. They're going to keep Wells on the pitch to Armbrister. Armbrister is 0 for 2 today. Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 9. Here's Armbrister. Six and a 6. Swung on and missed, struck him out. And here's Geronimo. We'll keep the lefty in. Havoc roll for Wells. 1 out. Nothing on 17. Here's a pitch to Geronimo. 2 for 2 with 2 singles. 2 and a 4. Fly ball to right field. And give me 1 second to see if Bench could possibly go to third. On a fly ball question mark, he cannot attempt to go to third. Only on a fly ball right field B. So 2 down. And here's Concepcion. Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 8. Four and a 6. He is not tired. So that is swung on and missed. Struck him out. And that will retire the side. And Joe Torre heads to Wells heads for the dugout, and Joe Torre meets him and says, "David, you've done enough. We're going to turn it over to the bullpen." The Foster home run cuts the lead to 4-2. Stretch time here at Yankee Stadium. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, Bourbon came in, got the double play ball from Posada, and he will face Ricky Leday to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Whoops, sorry guys. 4 and an 8 against the lefty. Bouncer to first, and Perez will take it to the bag himself, 1 away. Here's Chuck Knobloch, 0 for 3 on the day. Of course, this is the year before that he gets the yips. 3 and a 7 against the righty is a fly ball to center field. And Geronimo makes the catch, 2 away. Here's Derek Jeter, 1 for 3. Two and a 4. And that ball is driven deep to center field and off the wall. And into second with the double is Jeter. 1-9 home run. That's an 16. And so Jeter is on second. They will hold him on. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. So let's see here. Switching lefty, righty. Graham Lloyd is, let's see here, 38 innings. Is loosening in the bull, continuing to loosen the bullpen. He will come into the game next when the top of the 8th. All right, Havoc roll for Bourbon. Nothing on the 15. 111 against a righty. Bouncer back to the mound. Bourbon retires O'Neill. And this side is retired. We go to the top of the 8th. On comes the Aussie, Graham Lloyd. I believe he came over from the Brewers. If not, then I apologize, because I know he did play for the Brewers along with fellow Aussie Dave Nielsen. All right, so Wells goes 7 innings, gives up 2 runs, and he is so far the responsible for getting the win. All right. Here's Pete Rose. 1 for 3 with a single. 3-11. Ground ball to first. Martinez throws to Lloyd, covering 1 away. For those that are new to my videos, anytime you see a ground ball C, I use that as a little tougher play for the first baseman, so he'll throw to the first baseman, or throw to the pitcher covering first. And here's Ken Griffey, 0 for 3, 3 flyouts. 4 and a 4 catcher chance. Posada is a 4 and a 10. That would be a, don't believe that's going to be a wild pitch chance, but we'll see. Oh boy. 14. Posada's a 1, so that will be no problem. He only needs a 17. So 4 and a 10 is a P/P. There is no runner on base. If a pass ball does not occur, it's a pop out. So we'll pop up behind home plate. And in foul territory, Posada throws off the mask and makes the catch 2 away. And another lefty, Joe Morgan, is up. 0 for 2 reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. 6 and a 7 against a lefty. Weak ground ball to second. Knobloch throws out Morgan, and that retires the side. Going to the bottom of the 8th, Yankees lead 4-2. And Bourbon will stay out. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. This would be his point of weakness, technically. Let's see here. Sarmiento and McEnany are loosening in the bullpen, and Mariano Rivera has begun to loosen in the Yankee bullpen. All right. Bernie Williams today is 2 for 2 and 3 at-bats, 2 singles and a walk. Five and an 8 against a lefty is a ground ball to second, and Morgan throws out Williams 1 away. And here is Chili Davis. Chili is 0 for 2 with a walk. 3 and an 8. And that's just a bit low. And he will take first base. And, oof, down 2 runs. We will get a pinch runner for Chili Davis. Chad Curtis will come on and run for Davis. He runs at a 14. And he will not look to go anywhere. Here's Tino Martinez. Two is a balk or pass ball chance. That is a pass ball chance. Bench 1 to 2. Yep. And so off we go here with Martinez. 2 for 3, a grand slam and a single. 6 and a 10. Fly ball to center field. That was a 17. E7 for Geronimo. Whoops, we'll do that again. And an 8. I think that's going to be okay. Geronimo, E7, and an 8. There is no 8, so Geronimo makes the nice running catch 2 away. And heading back to first is Chad Curtis. And here is Scott Brocious. Here's 15. 1 for 3 is Brocious with a single. 6 and a 3. That's to the left fielder. And a 12 means I'll get to it. Left fielder Foster, he's a 2. And an E2. By a 12. 2 and a 12. They'll get to it. Left fielder is a Foster, is an E2. There is no 12. And so Foster charges hard and makes the catch. Retire the side. And we go to the top of the 9th, and that means it's time for Mariano Rivera to make his entrance. Lloyd pitches a scoreless 8th. Trust me, I'm not even going to want to make Metallica sounds, because even if you make sounds, they'll probably flag you. All right, so Rivera. Will face Perez, Foster, and Bench. So heart of the order due up for the Reds. Here's Tony Perez, 0 for 2 with a walk. 6 and a 5. And that's a ground ball past diving Scott Brocious. And into second with a double is Tony Perez. And the tying run has now come to the plate for a man that the Yankees have not been able to get out the last 2 times. George Foster, who's homered both times. Havoc roll for Rivera. Nothing on the 7. Here's Foster. (1-10). Weak ground ball to second. Knobloch retires Foster. Going to third is Perez. One away. And here's Johnny Bench. Nothing on the Havoc roll. Sorry, if I didn't do one before, Rivera's basically got nothing for the Havoc roll. Posada's a pass ball 3. All right, here's Johnny Bench. Doubled his last time up. 3-11. Ground ball to third. Brocious looks the runner back. Throws the first 2 down. And the Reds will get a pinch hitter for Armbrister. Dan Dreesen has grabbed the bat, and he will bat for Armbrister. Armbruster was 0 for 3. And here's Dan Dreesen. Havoc roll for Rivera. Nothing on the 15. And here's the pitch to Dreesen. 3-6. Ground ball to first. Martinez gets it. Strolls to first. And that's your ball game. Final score from Yankee Stadium. The 98 Yankees take this one 4-2 and be right back with the line score. All right, Rafe. The Yankees, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Reds, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher is David Wells, and your losing pitcher is Don Gullett, and Mariano Rivera gets the save. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I know it's been a long time since I put out a video, and I appreciate you guys who have stuck around. Please leave the video a like. It helps the video to get seen through certain algorithms. And if you have not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of any new videos. And whatever games you are playing, please enjoy them to your fullest. Have a good night, everybody.